It's 2024. Welcome to the new year. And it's the new year somewhere. Let's see, where I am. Pretty much by now, everyone, it is the new year. Since it's January 1st at 11 on a Monday, it's definitely the new year everywhere in the world. And for some of you, it's already the 2nd of January on the Gregorian calendar anyway. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. So how do we ring in the new year? What is New Year's Day? What does it mean? Both commercially around the world, and what's the spiritual meaning and implications? And is this a global festivity? What's the tradition? What are the rituals? What is New Year's Day? Generally speaking, at least in the West, it is observed on January 1st, and it's pretty much a holiday. You get the day off. And it dates back actually thousands of years. The early Roman lunar calendar originally marked March 1st as the first day of the new year. So it wasn't January 1st, it was March 1st. And that was based on the lunar calendar. In 46 BC, Julius Caesar, he was one of those old Roman guys, he changed the calendar to the Julian solar calendar, which is the first day of the year to honor Janus, the Roman god of beginnings. And that Roman god is the one that has two faces. So he's got a face here, and you see him turn, and there's two faces. You've seen him, I'm sure, in movies and things. And so he's looking forward and he's looking backward at the same time. So he symbolizes the reflection on the past year and the anticipation of the new one, the theme that resembles today's New Year's celebrations, right? We're ringing in the new and saying goodbye to the old. But what do other cultures do? In Spain and many Spanish-speaking countries, the customary you eat 12 grapes at midnight on each stroke of the clock. You might be stuffing your mouth pretty fast if the clock goes dong, dong, dong. Hopefully it dings pretty slow. Otherwise, you don't have time to even chew the grape. I've never done that. That would be interesting to try. Chew fast. So in Japan, the New Year, or Shogatsu, is a time for quiet reflection, family gatherings, and the ringing of the Buddhist temple bells. In Japan, Buddhism is pretty big. I grew up many years in Hawaii, and even our little town of Wahiawa had a Buddhist temple, and all my Japanese friends were Buddhist. I don't know today how many people in Japan are Buddhist, but they ring the bells 108 times. And if you've seen a mala, it has 108 beads. And it's when you cleanse your worldly desires, which is one of the Buddhist principles of letting go of your desires, because that's what causes pain and unhappiness, is unmet desires and wishes and dreams. In Brazil and a lot of other South American countries, people wear white for good luck and throw flowers into the ocean as a tribute to Yemanja, Yamana, probably butchered the Spanish on that one, who is the goddess of the sea. So they're thanking the goddess of the sea for the new year. In Scotland, they have Hogmanay, Hogmanay, celebrations that include first footing, where the first person to cross the threshold after midnight brings gifts for good luck. So how do you know if you're going to be the first person or not? So I guess everybody better bring some gifts. I'm not sure how that works. In the United States, they celebrate the big drop ball. I'm sure you've all seen the big ball in New York City that drops down. That actually started in 1907. So it's only about, 125, 126, 127 years old. The owner of the New York Times, Adolph Ochus, Ochs, wanted to have a grand way to celebrate the opening of the New York Times magazine in Times Square. And so he had this big iron and wooden thing that was adorned with hundreds of light bulbs lowered from the flagpole in Times Square to celebrate midnight in New York. That's where it started. And it was this cast iron or iron and wooden thing with just light bulbs in it. That's not what it is today. Today, it's a huge sphere, 12 feet in diameter, and it weighs nearly 12,000 pounds. Can you imagine 12,000 pounds? And it's decorated with Waterford crystal triangles. Okay, obviously they must be reusing this ball because anything that big would cost a fortune to make. And they're lit by LED lights. So they must have changed to LED sometime in the last 20 years because LED hasn't been around that long. So they must have been using some other kind of lighting on the center, and now they have LED lights. So it's a kaleidoscope of colors and the final countdown of the new year. Of course, that means the new year is celebrated on New York time. So I get to watch the dropping of the ball. It's winter, so I'm 2 hours earlier. So around 10 o'clock at night, I get to celebrate watching the ball drop in New York and then go to bed at a decent time. Or if I do stay up, I'll tell you what I do in a moment. So the event is steeped in tradition. What do people sing? Auld Lang Syne. And in numerous movies I've seen, people have said, I wonder what that means. May old friends be forgotten. Does that mean you're supposed to forget your old friends? Or does it mean you should remember the friends that you forgot? Or does it mean don't forget your old friends? Whatever it means for you, people tend to sing that and they tend to dance. And then, of course, there's the infamous New Year's Eve kiss that you're supposed to get. And that's the tradition, at least pretty popular in the United States. So while January 1st is pretty much globally the new year, the Chinese New Year or Spring Festival is based on the lunar calendar even today. And that's probably why they have so many years more than we have. It is marked with red decorations, lion dances, and family reunions. And of course, you've seen those parades with the dragons. And it's not just one day, it's I think it's about a week-long celebration, and it's typically falls somewhere in February. I think this year it's around February 12th is the Chinese New Year. At least that's when us acupuncturists in Arizona are going to have a Chinese dinner celebration on February 12th for the New Year. In the Jewish tradition, Rosh Hashanah, I'm sure I just butchered that. Hana, Hasana, Rosh Hashanah. Okay, sorry to my Jewish friends. It's a time to hear the head of the year. It falls in the autumn, and it is a time for introspection, prayer, and blowing the shofar, a ram's horn. So they blow the horn to celebrate their new year in the autumn. In India, they have a Hindu festival of light, or Diwali, Diwali. I think I put an extra D in there, sorry, which symbolizes the triumph of light over darkness or good over evil. So that's what they celebrate in India. So whether it's the festivities of New York or wherever you celebrate around the world, we hope you have a happy new year whenever it was or will be for you in 2024. So now I would like to lead you on a little annual celebration that I do every year. To do this, you'll need 6 pieces of paper, maybe this big, like a little teeny notepad, or you can take one sheet of paper and cut 6 strips because you're going to write a word or one sentence on it. So you don't need anything big. So go ahead and grab that and something to write with, pen, pencil, whatever. And I'll just keep talking until you're going to do this little celebration. And you're going to use those 6 little scraps of paper. So what I want you to do is divide them into 2 piles, 3 and 3. On the first pile of 3 pieces of paper, I want you to write down 3 things you want to let go of from the past year. It can be something spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, whatever. I'm going to let go of smoking. I'm going to let go of drinking. I'm going to stop swearing. I'm going to whatever. I'm going to give up drugs. I'm going to stop getting angry all the time. I'm going to stop over shopping. I don't know, whatever you want to give up. Figure out what that is. Maybe you've been upset at somebody and you're tired of being upset. I'm going to let go of being upset at either some person or some incident, or because that doesn't serve you. Get over it. Forgive the person, forgive yourself, send them love, send you love, and move on. Write it on a piece of paper. And when you get through writing all those 3, then you're going to go to the other pile and write down, what are you going to manifest in the new year? Maybe you're going to start making more money. Maybe you're going to change jobs. Maybe you're going to be drug and alcohol free. Maybe you're going to be smoke free. Maybe you're going to be more inclusive in the groups you're in. Maybe you're going to, I don't know, think of anything that you want to manifest in the new year. Now, this part you're going to have to do on your own because I can't be with you. But I want you to get some kind of flame retardant container. I have these little ceramic bowls that I burn incense and things in. You can use that. You can use a metal pan, not a Teflon pan. It needs to be all metal. All metal or all ceramic, or some kind of pottery that you can, or if you're blessed to have a fire pit in your backyard, go start a fire. And if you don't have a fire pit, take a lighter or a match. And first, start with your pile of 3 things you want to let go of. And just stand there and say a prayer, go into a meditative state, and then one at a time, ignite the piece of paper and say, I let this go. Like the next one, I let this go. Like the next one, I let this go. And it's sending it up to the heaven. The smoke is going up. Then you want to take your pile of things you want to manifest. And you're going to burn these as well and say, I manifest this in my future this next year. I manifest this in my future next year. And of course, you can say it however you want. You don't have to use my exact words, but you're letting go of the past and you're bringing in the future and you're sending it up to whatever belief system you happen to have, source, God, whatever. You're sending it up to the heaven. Shamans, when we journey, when we go up, sometimes we go into the smoke and we go up into the heavens through the smoke. So you're sending it up. You're sending the past, you're letting it go. You're sending the future to bring it into the now. Okay, so Happy New Year. And we will see you Thursday for meditation or next week, Monday, for our animal communicator. Have a Happy New Year. And remember to be the light you want to see in the world.